Hello, my name's Darren Bugg, and today I'm going to review a travel lodge that might seem to be in a very unusual location, but it's actually potentially a very useful location, especially if you are going to be travelling from the north of England down to London, because it's a really good stopping off point on the way between the north and London. And another big bonus, it's one of the cheapest travel lodges that I've stayed in recently. In fact, I think it's one of the cheapest travel lodges in the whole of England. Now, it's at a place you probably haven't heard of, and that place is Markham Moor. And Markham Moor is near the town of Retford in Nottinghamshire. Now, the Markham Moor Retford Travelodge is just off the A1, so that is the main route that goes all the way from Edinburgh down to London, taking in Newcastle and Leeds and lots of other places on the way. And it's very, very, very close to the junction of the A1, where the A1 meets the A57. So to give you an idea of where it is, it's about 18 miles to the west of the city of Lincoln, and it's a similar distance to the east of Sheffield, and you've got Doncaster above, and you've also got Nottingham below. So it's in a very good intersection between several major cities, and it's right here on the map, right next to the junction of the A1 and the A57. So if you are travelling down the A1 to London, then this is a very good stopping off point, and it's also a very cheap travel lodge. So very, very useful if you want to get a night's sleep on the way down to London. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first of all give a review of the room and tell you what my experiences were when I stayed overnight at the Retford Markham Moor Travelodge, and then I'm going to tell you whether or not I'd recommend it and whether I'd stay there again. So first of all, here's a tour of the room at the Travelodge Retford Markham Moor. Well, the first thing that struck me when I walked into this room was just how big it is. Now, I think the reason I've got such a big room is because this is a family room, but it is lovely and spacious, and nice big window looking out onto what looks like a very nice rural area. But things aren't quite what they seem. It looks like you're looking onto a nice little country lane here, which I guess in a way you are. But if I open the windows, you will hear just a little bit of sound at the moment. Not too bad, but we're right next to a small service area just off the A1. And this morning at 5 o'clock, I just heard a load of lorries. There's one just going past now. And it just didn't stop for about half an hour of really loud lorries just going past. And I think what it is, because it's a service area, a lot of these lorries are staying here overnight. And then early morning they're setting off again. And so although it looks like an idyllic rural kind of location, it is actually really noisy early in the morning. So that was a bit problematic for me. It wouldn't have been so bad if it had been like 9 o'clock in the morning, but it was like literally 5 a.m. and you've got all this loud traffic going past. So although it looks really nice outside, there is a noise issue. I mean, at the moment it's not too bad. I've just seen a few bits of traffic are past, but it's currently about 11 a.m. and it's not too bad, but early morning it was really noisy, and although there is double glazing, it's not keeping the noise out at all, so that was a bit problematic. It's quite old double glazing. I think if they'd had newer double glazing it might have been a lot better. But the room is very spacious. You've got the usual double bed, which was very comfortable last night, and some really nice lighting actually. They've got some quite clever lighting effects. They've got this single bed, and that's why I think this is meant to be a family room. I didn't ask for a family room, but I think that's what they've given me anyway, which is fine. It makes it more spacious. You've got your usual desk and a heater there. There's no air conditioning. There's the usual comfy chair, which isn't that comfortable, but it's okay. I suppose you could use that at your desk there. Big desk. And then the usual coffee making facilities. They gave me plenty of coffee, plenty of milk, but I think that was probably because it is a family room, so they've kind of given me double the amounts. And TV It's all right. It's a flat screen, 26 inch, so it's not massive. I have seen worse, but you know, you go in some Premier Inns these days and you get in your kind of 42 inch televisions, so this is quite puny by comparison. They don't provide a hairdryer, but plenty available at reception, so I just went to reception and asked for one, and they gave me a hairdryer, so that's fine. Here's an interesting thing, the key. The key. I haven't seen one of these things in a long time, a long time. It's the really old-fashioned type. You get these abroad sometimes, but in Britain it's very rare to see the old-fashioned type of key anymore, but it doesn't matter. The door was actually fine, it locked okay. Sometimes these type of keys are better than those that have the card that never seem to work. If you've seen my other videos on YouTube, then you'll know what I mean. I've had some really bad experiences with cards at travel lodges, mention no names, Manchester Ancoats, where you're completely unable to get into your room because cards never work. So having an old-fashioned key doesn't really matter, does it? Got a big mirror. In fact, I quite liked having an old-fashioned key. That was quite a nice throwback to the 1970s. So then you've got the door, and as you can see, loads of space. Bit of a wardrobe here. It's not really a wardrobe, but coat hangers. The usual problem. I say it in every film I ever make. They don't give you enough. Didn't matter for me because I'm on my own. It gave me 5. But if you've been with a couple, and bear in mind this is a family room as well, so if you had kids as well, then 5 coat hangers is not very good. There's no air conditioning, as I mentioned a few moments ago, but there is a fan. So if you're really hot in summer, you've got the fan, you've got the ability to open the windows. But I guess in the middle of summer, this could be a very hot room. I'm recording this in the autumn, so it's been fine. But I don't know whether that fan would be enough to cool down a large room like this on a hot day in the summer. And then in the middle of winter, obviously you've got an extra duvet, lots of towels, nice and clean. Fire alarm, all the usual stuff, and another mirror there. So we've got 2 mirrors. We've got that mirror, and then you've also got a mirror there above the desk. So plenty of mirrors. There's me. Just a shame about the TV, really. I was only staying here for one night, and I didn't arrive till after midnight, and leaving about 12 hours later, so I didn't really need the TV much. But if I'd been staying for longer, I think I would have wanted a better television. Right, have a quick look at the bathroom. I'm going to turn on the light, and it's one of those lights where you turn it on and then the fan comes on and it's really loud, so you'll get a lot of noise in a minute. But power shower, really nice shower. I don't like these shower curtains, I really don't like them, but it's been alright. It's managed to hold the water in. The floors stayed dry. Sometimes you get loads of water coming through them, but it's been alright. Nice clean floor, nice clean wash basin, big mirror, me again, and then the usual toilet and toilet rolls, all that kind of stuff. Now, one of the big advantages, which you don't get in modern travel lodges, is the bath. It's always nice to have a bath as well as a shower, and you only seem to get them in the old travel lodges. You don't seem to get baths in the new one. Or for anyone listening in the south of England, bath or bath, depending on whether you're a northerner or a southerner. I say bath, but you got a bath and a shower, so that was nice. Bath was actually very small. I'm 6'1" tall, and I could hardly get in it, but it's still nice to have a bath, and it's nice and clean, and all the seals and everything you can see. I'll just show you inside. It's a bit of a noise from the fan, but lovely and clean. Very well maintained, actually, this hotel. I was very impressed. It's nice and clean. Nice bathroom. The soap dispenser and the shampoo dispenser all nicely topped up. So top marks for that. So moving back into the room. The bed, as I say, was comfortable. Usual picture that you get above the bed. And I really like these lights. I don't know why. Something just a bit different about them. And they've got similar style of light swing around there as well. Just quite a nice kind of lighting. I don't know why I like it, I just do like it. So as I said earlier, it's a big room. I'll move back. You can see all this space. And your wardrobe space here, your towel space. There's plenty of storage space. There's space for my laptop computer, for my man bag, my rucksack, and then even more space down there. So loads and loads and loads of space. more storage space up here next to the fan as well. So loads of storage space, loads of room. Nice, spacious travel lodge. Nice, clean travel lodge. A little bit old-fashioned. The two negative points really for me. Firstly, the noise, which is a shame because it looks like a really nice location when you come into the room, and then you get all this noise at 5 in the morning, lorries going past, and swinging around the TV. And as I say, it didn't really bother me because I'm only here for a night, somewhere to sleep for a few hours, but it's a bit disappointing just having such a small TV, especially when a lot of travel lodges, Premier Inns and the cheaper hotels are now giving you much bigger televisions. But never mind, no big deal. So that is the room here at the Travelodge at Markham Moor. So the big question I always ask in all of my films, would I stay here again? And I guess the answer is I would stay here again if I had to, if I had a reason to stay. Markham Moor really is in the middle of nowhere, to be honest. It's just inside Nottinghamshire, just off the A1. It's not the sort of place you'd have any reason to stay other than to get a night's sleep, and I suspect that probably most people who stay here only stay for one night because they're on the way from somewhere to somewhere else. And I'm on the way from Yorkshire down to London, and normally I just drive all the way in one day, but I've been somewhere else on the way in Lincolnshire, and that's meant that I needed to find somewhere just to stay for the night before I resume my journey down to London. So for me, this was a perfect location just to have a night's sleep before setting off again down the A1 down to London. But normally I wouldn't have a reason to stay here. It was, I have to be honest, it was very cheap, which might not always be cheap, but I only paid 40 quid, which is pretty cheap these days because hotel prices, as you know, in Britain at the moment, even cheap hotels, even budget hotels, hotel prices are very, very expensive. So £40 for a night in midweek is very, very good. Bear in mind, there's nothing around here at all. I mean, there's no reason to stay really other than to get a night's sleep, and I've only been in the room 12 hours and that's it. So £40 for 12 hours, basically it's just somewhere to sleep, get a coffee, get a shower, get a bath, and then get off down the A1 to London. But yeah, if you need somewhere to stay about halfway in between the north of England and London, and you don't want to make that journey all the way in one go, then this is a really good stopping off point. The room's really clean, beds are really comfortable, everything's been fine, very friendly staff, can't really fault it. If I had a reason to stop over because I needed a night's sleep on the way down to London, then yeah, I would stay here again. I'd be very happy to recommend it. I think the question you have to ask yourself is, would you actually have a reason to stay here? But if you just want a night's sleep and it's cheap and then get off next morning, then this is a great place to stay. This is the Travelodge at Markham Moor, just off the A1 in Nottinghamshire, and I'm happy to recommend it. My name's Darren Bugg. Thank you very much for watching this film. I make lots of films about budget hotels, especially aimed at business travellers, although obviously my films could apply to anyone, but I'm doing it from the point of view of a business traveller who doesn't want to spend too much money. So please subscribe. Please like this video, share it with your friends, press all the buttons and bells that you have to press on YouTube. And it's a massive, massive help for me. Thank you for your support. We've got a lot of new subscribers recently, which is fantastic. I'm really, really pleased to increase my number of subscribers. And I'll be back soon with another review of a budget hotel somewhere in the United Kingdom.